today's episode, we will spread Swedish propaganda. There will be a hole.
That's a hole.
And a Mustang will blow. Buzz will buzz. What happens when you forget a potato or onion for a couple of months? This. But what happens if you forget your BMW E36 for a couple of months? Well, let's just say this exhaust setup may be slightly aggressive. You have heard of forced induction, but have you heard of enforced annexation? Wait, this doesn't make sense. Anyways, yeah, let's just say it may be smarter to use metal charge pipes next time. Now, here's a sound you wouldn't expect to come from a Jeep Wrangler. The engine in this thing starts with 2 and ends with Z. If you can guess it, leave a comment that we will ignore. They say that you never see a sad driver behind the wheel of a Miata. Well, they didn't mention anything about a driver that is stripping. He was caught, by the way, probably drunk. Don't be stupid, kids. The term slammed means that a car is modified to sit as low as possible to the ground. Well, this definition did not specify whether the car needs to be on its wheels or upside down. For the people interested in moving to Saudi Arabia, to become a citizen, you need to pass the Habibi test. The question is, could you pass it? We all know that you can get an umbrella holster in the door of your Rolls-Royce, and while this may be classy and all, it does not compare to the ballistic umbrella you get while purchasing a Chrysler 300.
You know how they say that the 300 is a poor man's Rolls Royce? Motherfucker, I got an umbrella in my door too. Ain't nothing special about them fucking Rolls.
You know, there are cars out there where you just need to tap the throttle to accelerate the Earth's rotation. How do you recognize these cars, you may ask? A dead giveaway could be some big chrome thing sticking out of its hood. When cornering on a track, it is important to keep in mind the weight transfer of your... Wait, is that an ancient Aztec temple? Anyways, as I was saying, while cornering on a track, it is important to make sure your controller is charged sufficiently. On a serious note, snap-over steer and K cars with a high center of gravity do not mix well. LS swapping your BMW E36 can give you a lot of horses, and if you drive like this guy, you can get into debt as well if you want. He was okay, by the way. Ferries in Europe are usually slow, sluggish ships with zero excitement guaranteed. In Cambodia, however, you get this. Hyundai steering wheel included. Since we have completely run out of original content to show you, here's an Instagram reel of an excessive amount of hay bales on one transport truck in Thailand. But wait for it, it's not this truck that is overloaded. You know, some wise man once said, if it's not supposed to be here, don't race it. car manufacturers are catering towards the Chinese market and women. But when will they start catering towards tractor enthusiasts? These guys from Poland built a prototype, and I must say, I'm intrigued. I know, 250 miles per hour is not that impressive. Your dad hits that speed when driving to school in his Audi Lamborghini Euros, sorry. But you know what is actually impressive? Doing this in a diesel truck. Meet the Phoenix, I don't know how to pronounce it, diesel truck land speed racer, going flat out at the Bonneville Salt Flats.
In the first mile, 212.999. Middle mile, 238.522. In the left mile, 251.949.
Guess this car by the sound. If you guessed a Blount 67 Chevy with 10 psi boost equipped with a Dart-free 8V, 671 blower, aluminium heads, 580 lift cams, 650 double pumpers and much more, you'd be completely right, son. Ever wondered how rolling coal with your Duramax affects your engine? Watch how this mechanic explains the effects of excessive wear and tear on your tuned work truck. On a serious note, it's super interesting to see how pistons get worn over time because of injectors.
We've got some tricky business going on here. Jesse's tearing this down, but look at this core. Here's kind of what a piston should look like. Here's what a lot of these pistons do look like. That's a hole that has been drilled. And when I say drilled, an injector has blown a hole through the side of that piston, and you can see the cylinder wall on the other side. Look at that beautiful flower-like piston. Not what it should look like. That's the injector spray pattern as it kind of hits that piston. It has melted this side. Now let's look at the other side. These are pretty good.
Right here, same thing.
Ta-da! Jump.
So by now we all know and like to glaze on the Volvo 5-cylinder engine. That sounds pretty damn good. But how about something else from Sweden? Check out the Swedish torpedo boat from the 50s. In these clips you can see the following two boats. The PT T26 and the T56. The more lightweight version, the T26, was a torpedo boat deployed in the Swedish Navy. During World War II, of course. Built in 1942 and at 20 meters long, it possesses two 530mm torpedoes, one 20mm automatic cannon, called Bofors, and the engine is equipped with two Isotta Frassini engines at 57 liters of displacement. These make a generous 1500 horsepower with a maximum speed of 50 knots, which roughly translates to 92 kilometers an hour. But there is more. Its more impressive, bigger brother, known as the T56, was deployed by the Swedish Navy from 1957. This one had a length of 23 meters, using three 18-cylinder engines, with each making a measly 1650 horsepower. But compared to his smaller brother, it weighs 16 tons more, at a total of 43 tons, which means it has a max speed of 50 knots. Here you can see the Citroën I mean fourgonette at the good wood making some good timed turns. I have no idea why I turned on my Serbian accent, but the suspension was notoriously soft in these cars. Legend has it that you can drop one from under a helicopter at a height of 500 feet and the springs will absorb the impact.
Okay, and let it go. There it is. What?
That's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice day.
That doesn't make sense.